To tonight's Board of Works and Safety meeting. The meeting is hereby called to order. Will the clerk please call roll?
Kelly Gray.
Present.
John Lillywhite. Mayor Costin.
Present.
Bill Warren.
Thank you. You were given copies of the minutes from the October 24th meeting. Are there any comments or corrections to the minutes?
No.
I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed none, the motion carries. One thing that I want to have the Board of Works consider, and it's just my lack of not being able to look at the drawings properly, but we were thinking that Jefferson Street, where the music venue is being done, was gonna be one way to the north. It's actually gonna be two-way. So that kind of creates a problem with traffic flow there. I would like for the Board of Works to consider putting Jefferson Street between Morgan and Washington back to one-way north, like it was before all the construction, and then make Jefferson and Morgan a four-way stop. I know some citizens will be upset about this, but this is kind of a safety issue to have, because right now, during construction, we had yield to pedestrians, and nobody seemed to yield. I know every time Debbie and I would cross there, she'd yell at me because I stepped out in front, and probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I think we need to look at having that as a four-way stop. Now, we've made Sycamore and Morgan a four-way stop. I think we need to leave that as a four-way stop, because here again, did it for a couple of reasons. One, for the cars that are parked on Morgan Street, if we let them park there, then you can't see if you're pulling out of Sycamore. The other thing is the traffic flow changes to the east of Sycamore Street on Morgan. It depends what turn lane in the middle. So I think safety reasons, we leave that as it is too. But I just like, and we'll bring it up, next month, about having that as a four-way stop. So,
Leave everything north of Morgan Street two-way on Jefferson.
yes. Yes. So just think about that, and if there's any questions, then when Mr. Lillywhite gets back, we'll have a vote on that. Any questions or comments?
When will that street be open so I can use it and go home?
Mr. Oaks, Mrs. Bree would like to know when you're gonna take the fence down.
We're looking at fences, we're looking at everything with that. And we do have the signs for it up at Morgan and Jefferson. We already have the stop signs for that.
Okay,
First Associated.
so it should be open in a couple of days, Kelly. So, in our new business, Dale, we have a tort claim.
Yeah, I'm looking for a vote tonight to send the tort claim to our insurance carrier. So like it was a accident that occurred at South Ohio Street, East South Street.
Any questions for Mr. Coffey?
No.
I would entertain a motion in regards to the tort.
I'll make a motion that we send it on to our insurance company.
Been a motion made, I will second to send the tort claim on to the insurance carrier. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed none, the motion carries.
It's Mr. Coppins and I thought. No, it's not. No.
No.
Yeah, there is. There you go.
Next on the agenda is the Artesian League contract lease agreement.
This is a similar, actually identical lease agreement to the last 2 years that the city has leased our ball diamonds that we have to the Artesian Blvd. So there's been no changes made to this, but for the dates. They're looking for another 1-year lease from January 1st of 2023 to December 31st of 2023 for $1. We have built in here that if we do need to do any work, repair work, construction work, any type of work at all to our well field or our wells there, then we have the right to do that, even if it would interfere with their use of the property, because those are obviously paramount to our water system. But other than that, it would be their ability to use our ball diamonds for another year.
The only question I ever have about that agreement is to make sure that they do have an insurance policy that says that they will in the agreement.
And they provided that last year, and they'll do that again this year.
And when I send the agreement to them for execution, I'll ask for the certificate of insurance.
Okay, thank you.
Then, any other questions for Mr. Coffin?
No, I'll move that we sign the lease agreement with the Artesian Blvd.
Been a motion made, and I will second to sign the contract lease agreement with Artesian Blvd. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no, the motion carries. Dale, you're up again.
Next item you have is a contract with Stifel. This is our underwriting insurance carrier for our bonds that we're getting ready to, actually, we just sold last week for the construction of the police station, and this is for their fees for doing the work they do. We've used Stifel probably the last several bonds that we've done, I don't know how many, but quite a few. And this is identical to their previous agreements.
Any questions or comments?
No.
And I would entertain a motion regarding the engagement with Stifel.
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the,
There's been a motion made, and I will second the approval of the agreement with Stifel. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Motion carries. Dale, I think this is your last one, the contribution to the 401.
Before you have consideration of resolution number 2022-0024. It's a resolution authorizing city contributions to a 401A retirement plan. This would be a retirement plan that the city would help fund for non-union employees that we have in the city of Martinsville. Currently, we have a union with the Teamsters, and that some of our street department workers, water department, wastewater treatment, sanitation can become members of the union, Teamsters Union. We have other employees, though, that choose not to be a union. It's to these employees that this resolution would speak, giving them the opportunity to invest their money as well as city would invest money to the same rate that we currently pay for the Teamsters employees that are in the Teamsters Union. And this would give them the ability to start building and generating a retirement fund when they retire. This would apply to city employees full-time that are not employees that would be appointed by an elected official. Your appointed director of planning and engineering would not apply, city superintendent would not apply, executive assistant would not, this would not apply to them. It would also not apply to anybody working for the city clerk treasurer. But all others that are full-time that are not in the union and wish to elect to do this, that's who this would apply for. The city council has allocated monies for the funding of this in the 2022 budget. Also in the 2023 budget, there is money allocated that the city would be able to contribute to this. So this has already been thought through and planned out and actually approved by the city council through the budget for 2022 and again for the budget they just approved for next year's budget.
Excuse me. Any comments for Mr. Coffin?
No.
I would entertain a motion regarding resolution 2022-24, the contribution to the 401 retirement plan.
I'll make a motion that we approve it.
Been a motion made, and I will second to approve resolution 2022-24. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Motion carries. Next on the agenda this evening is a contract with Administrative Resources Association. This is a contract to have them to administer our Okra grant for the sewer project. Any comments or questions?
No, it's a pretty lengthy document. I'm assuming that Mr. Coffey has looked it over.
Yes. And it's very similar to which the last one we used, Mac,
For our drinking wastewater.
wastewater, or drinking water.
It's the same Baker Jones contract as approved with that grant
Okay.
administration.
No questions. I'll make a motion that we accept the agreement.
Okay, been a motion made, and I will second to approve the contract with Administrative Resources Association for the sewer water project. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed no. Motion carries. We had received a request for a traffic study, and I would like just to bring this to the Board of Works and ask the Deputy Chief to look in this for us. They are requesting a children at play sign at Harrison Street and Home Avenue. And there are lots of children in that area, and there's people traveling through this area way too fast. So I'd like to make a motion, or ask for a motion to have the police do a study on that and get back to us.
I'll make a motion that we do a traffic study.
I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Kenny, if you take care of that. Mr. Porter?
You have before you an agreement from Humber Skateparks in regard to the design for a skate park for the city of Martinsville. What this agreement does, it takes the next step in the process. As you may recall, back in April, a petition was brought to the council to try to initiate having a skate park built in Martinsville. The advocacy group has worked very diligently and has raised, they were given a challenge to raise a match of 50% of the cost. They have done that. The city has, through the Economic Development Fund, the other part of the match. What this agreement does is take it to the next level, creating a design, assessing potential sites. Once they get that part, then it comes down to what is the total cost going to be, and that's part of the design process. This also includes the development of the bid packet that will be used, that will go out to get the true final cost. So we are at the next stage, and we're looking to the Board of Works to approve this agreement so that we can move forward with the project.
Any questions or comments?
Sure. So this, so the $16,000 is what has been brought forth with the 50% match?
Well, 8,000 from the city and 8,000 from the group, yes.
Sure. So you're not asking for any additional funds today?
No, the money's there, it's just a matter of approving the agreement.
And then I guess, I'm assuming that you referred to them as the advocacy group?
Yes.
Has vetted the Hunger Skateparks and knows that this is the company that we should be.
I have vetted them actually, and I met, probably in late April with Tony Hawk Foundation, which is the leading advocate for skate parks. And I asked him, what do you think about Hunger Skateparks? And he kind of smiled. We were doing a Zoom meeting, and he just smiled and said, we like their work. And I have gone around and visited about 12 skate parks in central Indiana, and of those 12, I would say that 7 of them were built by Hunger. So they have a very strong reputation here in central Indiana. What this does is just do the design work. It does not commit them to the construction of it. They would have to bid like anybody else. But as far as the design goes, they're one of the leading designers in the country.
Okay, thank you.
If there's no other questions, I would, sure. He didn't get
We're going to design without knowing what the site is at this point?
No.
That's part of the design process, is they will come in and do a site assessment. We will give them a list of various locations that we think might be good, based on what we've heard from the advocacy group. And then they will assess those sites as to traffic, visual traffic, topography, drainage, et cetera, and then come back with a recommendation. Then it'll come back for us to make a selection of that site, and then that will help lead the final design,
Purchase the site.
if necessary, or for use city property.
Then I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we sign this agreement with Hunger Skateparks.
I will second the motion to accept the contract with Hunger to design the skate park. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Motion carries. As far as sewer adjustments, 540 Basca Drive, $1,650.71. 1029 South Colfax Street, $189.16. 130 Hillview Drive, $604.66. 320 Byrum Blvd, $2,824. 145 Anderson Place, $267.98. 140 Kramer Place, $3,497.36. You've received the cover sheets on these. Are there any questions or?
No.
The only comment I would make is the bottom four are all in Charlotte, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, but all separate issues, so
Yeah. So I would entertain a motion on the sewer adjustments.
I'll make a motion, we accept the sewer adjustment.
Been a motion made, and I will second to accept the sewer adjustments as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Motion carries. The next regular meeting of the Board of Works will be on Monday, November 28th at 6:30 here in the council chambers.